Hey everyone, it's Kyle back on the Stacks channel with another video, another thread, another Japan vinyl tag. If you'd watched the previous video, one of the previous videos, I think it's two back, Brian over at Tokyo Rec Style put out 20 questions for the Japan vinyl tag 2024, and I showed off 20 records to kind of just, give my response to the questions that he threw out, which were, probably my favorite questions that I've seen in any thread so far. I'm not still new. I've only been here since the beginning of the year, but they were just amazing questions. And I just thinking of what I had picked, took a bit of deliberation to pick, do I want to do this or this or this or this? And when I was doing that, I kept thinking of Bowie. Like every question, I could almost have shown a Bowie record. But I don't know, I didn't. And what I want to do now is attempt to do that, but instead of using an entire album to represent the question, I'm just going to pick like a single track, and I'm going to make like a little, playlist at the end of each of those tracks, so you can check that out, because what Brian has been doing is everybody that has been contributing to the Japan Vinyl Tag is he's been curating like their entire playlists, and where you could just go listen to them all their songs, and it's been a blast learning about new music and learning about new people and what they listen to and how they kind of interpreted the questions, and just all sorts of awesome stuff. So big shout out to Brian, and then big shout out to everybody that has been joining in, because I believe I just hit 50 subscribers, and I think like 15 of them have been thanks to this Japan Vinyl Tag video. So again, major shout out to Brian, major shout out to everybody else that has been following along and subscribing and liking and sharing comments, and it's been a lot of fun. So here today I'm going to take a few creative liberties on some of the questions, just to kind of adhere to I don't know, make it make sense a little, but they're not too far stretched. But yeah, you be the judge. Hope you enjoy, and we'll just go ahead and get started. Obi One. I'm supposed to show a record that has an Obi on it, or cool packaging, cool insert. I don't have any records that have an Obi strip, so I'm going to use this kind of like as a freebie, and kind of just show this one, because Obi One, Bowie has a song called Untitled Number One off the Buddha Suburbia soundtrack. So this is just going to be my kind of freebie answer. Entitled Number One, just Untitled. That's the name of the song. Actually, I think it's like the eighth track. And this album here, it's the soundtrack that was based off of like a BBC series that was based off a book. So again, this material related back to that, it's kind of a loose connection. So that's why I'm kind of using this as a loose connection to the actual question. Really cool song. And again, I'm going to try to make a playlist of every song, so if you want to check them out for yourself, feel free to do that. There it is, number one. Buddha Suburbia, the song Untitled Number One. Number two is a Japanese band or artist, and this is a little stretch. I'm kind of playing fast and loose with the rules. It says a Japanese band or artist, doesn't imply Japanese artist. But what I got here is Reality, which I'm going to kind of talk about the cover first. And this is a 2003 album. There's all sorts of art on the cover, kind of some like, to me it reminds me of like some Dali, kind of like that little, I don't know, melting ledge type of stuff. You got like some like running spray paint over here, and then kind of like anime inspired Bowie himself. So all sorts of different art styles. But the track specifically about an artist is a track 2 off of this called Pablo Picasso, where it's a cover of a Modern Lovers track. I think the Modern Lovers released it in 1976. It was recorded apparently years before they put out their debut album, which I think their debut album was 76. That's the track, 40 years later. 30, 40, I can't do math. 30 years later. He put it on this album. Pablo Picasso is going to be the track I pick on this. And this is, even, for cool art, the swirl, not swirl, but kind of like a marble pattern there for this record. So yeah, number 2, the Japanese band or artist. I chose to use artist on that one. But number 3, Sunrise soundtrack. And I didn't write down because what Brian did is he put the title, but then he put like a little, description of what he's looking for. I forgot the exact words, but basically just kind of a record that you think would be good to play in the morning. And again, I'm just using specific songs, and I don't have this. I don't have this track on this album, but if you were to buy like some deluxe CD version, there's like a bonus track that has an alternative mix. It's a loose connection, but that's Toy, which this is I can't ever say the word posthumous track that came out, I believe. Oh man, 2020? I don't know. I'm not even I can't even think when this came out, honestly. But yeah, it's just like a compilation, more or less. It was an unreleased album that was supposed to come out in 2000 after Hours and in between, I guess, Heathen. But he didn't put it out. There's a whole Wikipedia page and other articles on you can read why it was never released. But the original time, I haven't even got to the song yet. It's In the Heat of the Morning is the song. And yeah, In the Heat of the Morning makes me think of the sunrise. And it's kind of a groovy 60s sound. Not the alternative mix. This is I shouldn't even be showing this, but because the alternative mix on here is like a rock sound. It's okay. But the original one from 1968 era, it's kind of like it's really groovy 60s sound. It has like tambourines, organs. There's like clapping and humming. That's the song I'm going to pick is In the Heat of the Morning. So, number 4, City Sounds. And I'm curious how many people, when they think of Bowie, they think of City, if there's a specific song that comes to mind. Because, whenever I think of Bowie and City, Suffragette City off of Ziggy Stardust. This is, again, one of the ones that just immediately came to mind, but the rest of the record, I don't know, it was hard to justify. Versus, it could have been better than the one I did pick in my other video, but I had Bowie in a different slot on that video, so I just didn't want to choose all Bowie or multiple Bowies. But anyways, Suffragette City off here, track 10. Really simple pick for City Sound, Suffragette City. But another kind of stretch I'm going to take is Suffragette City was also included on Rock Band, which is a video game from 2008, maybe. 2007. I'm gonna go with 2007. And what I really liked about that, I love the music rhythm games like Guitar Hero and everything else, but Rock Band just really gave you a sense of being kind of in a band. And with the structure that game had, was you would just literally travel from city to city, playing different gigs at different venues. And being Bowie, the song just stood out, and I love that, playing that song on the drums and guitar. And just having that city vibe of the game and the song, I felt was a really good pick for that one. So, City Sound, Suffragette City, we'll do that. Number 5, Zen Listening. This is, I think, a pretty solid pick, but you can be the judge again. And this is going to be Moss Garden off of Heroes from '77. Track 8. Yeah, track 8 off here. Where I looked up, it's I can't. There's an instrument in there. I never knew what it was. I was like, that's a Japanese instrument. And looking it up, it's a koto, which apparently it's like some crazy 16 string. I think that's the number they threw out. But yeah, it's like this stringed instrument that once you listen to it, it's just like super like calming, and where the description that I don't know, it was on the internet, where he wanted to create a sonic depiction of Saihoji, which is the Moss Temple in Kyoto. I'll put some pictures up there to kind of show you, but yeah, really just listening to that one track, I think it does really give the essence of Zen listening. So here we go, Moss Garden. Number 6, Go 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 Godzilla. This was supposed to be like a song or an album that kind of destroyed your expectations of music or something like that. And again, taking some little creative liberties, I'm gonna pick the track "The Voyeur of Utter Destruction" as Beauty, because Godzilla destruction. That's my excuse there. But yeah, that's track 11 off of I always just call this album Outside, but there's one Outside, and actually that's the short name. I don't know if the spine has. I can't even read. Yeah, I'll have to look up the full name of this album and put it on the screen. Because it's ridiculous. It's like some Nathan Adler diary, hyper cycle, murder of baby Grace, non-linear hyper. It's ridiculous what the actual name of this album is. But yeah, the this whole album is just. I mean, I could have used this album as the actual pick in my original video, because this is just crazy as like the concept behind this, how it has like, I don't know, 6 or 7 different characters just going through, and all these like there's a calendar dates that come up, and then all the relationships, and yeah, I think it like spans 20 years of events that don't really occur in any particular order, but they're all part of the story. And there's stuff called like art crimes, where like, you know, killing people is an art, depending on how well you do it, and it's a crazy album. But yeah, The Voyeur of Utter Destruction as Beauty is gonna be my pick for Go Go Godzilla. Number 7, Ahead of Its Time. This is gonna be from 1999, and off of Hours. I'll pick. Let's see what. I'll pick Something in the Air, which is track 2. That's a good song. I like that one. It has some really cool like vocal modulations, and Pretty Things Are Going to Hell. It's also really going on, but I'll just go with Something in the Air and kind of describe as to why I'm picking this, because again, 1999. What was kind of ahead of its time with this one was it was released as like a digital exclusive album on BowieNet, where you had to download this album. You couldn't, you know, go and buy the CD or anything. It was not available in any physical format. It was only a digital download for like a month, I believe. It wasn't like for an extended period of time, but yeah, if you wanted to hear this when it was new, it was a digital only album in 1999, 25 years ago, which kind of just blows my mind as to how that type of decision was made. I mean, BowieNet, if you read up on BowieNet and all the crazy stuff that was done on that site, yeah, it's not surprising that it was just being used as like that platform to, I don't know, just make a name for itself. But yeah, another thing with this album is the songs on it, coming in 1999. There were also many of them featured on Omicron, the Nomad Soul, a game for the Sega Dreamcast, which I think came out in 2000. Where it's on the back. It says original soundtrack by David Bowie and Reeves Gabrels. I've never said that guy's name before. Reeves Gabrels, I believe. But yeah, even on the cover, you can kind of get a hint that that's practically Bowie in there. And yeah, so many of the songs, again, they released a digital exclusive download, and then they were also included on this. So really kind of having that whole release strategy surrounding this album, I thought was pretty much ahead of its time. I've never heard of anything in that era definitely going down that path. So yeah, Hours, Something in the Air, we'll pick for ahead of its time. Number 8, Take a Walk Man, and this is supposed to be, oh geez, this is supposed to be a record that you could like kind of just dub to a cassette and take it on a walk and listen to it while you're out and about. And one of the songs, one song specifically, starts off this album, and it is from Scary Monsters and Super Creeps, 1980. So track 1 is It's No Game, part 1. There's a part 2, and that kind of bookends the album. But the way that this album opens is you just kind of hear some kind of, I don't know, ambient noises, but then like you just hear this like reel start to spin up and like some tape just spinning and kind of stuff. And then that's when the song kicks off. And and then the song takes over, and then it just ends, and you kind of the way that it ends, it kind of really makes you be aware that you're listening to a song, if that makes sense. It's the song is also kind of strange, where it opens up with some Japanese verses, but then there's English in between. And I think the verses are the same exact verse, but one's in Japanese, one's in English, and then another one's in Japanese, and then again immediately in English. But yeah, just the way, if you listen to this song, which I'll have linked in the playlist, yeah, it just really gets a sense of this is going onto a cassette. So yeah, there we go. Scary Monsters and It's No Game Part 1 for Take a Walk, Man. Number 9, Bullet Train. And this, shout out to Richard at Calvin Wazoo. I just found his channel. Or he just found me. We found each other, however you want to phrase it. He left a comment on my previous video and checked his channel out. It's really cool. But he had joined in on the Japan Vinyl Tag and chose this specific album. And yeah, so I'm gonna show it off here. Station to Station, David Bowie. I'm just gonna pick the song "Station to Station," which is like 10 minutes in itself. I think it's definitely one of his longest tracks. I think it might be the longest. Black Star is up there, but I don't think Black Star exceeds this. So yeah, but yeah, Station to Station, track 1, 1976, and the obvious connection there. Station to station, trains go to stations. But kind of trying to elaborate a little bit on this. Yeah, this. Again, being a 10-minute song, I don't even think vocals kick in until like the 3.5-minute mark. Like it's a really like the immediate introduction. Like you have this like train kind of. It's not a bullet train sound because the bullet trains are just. I've never seen one, but I don't think they would have this kind of chugging sound to them. Whereas this one does, and then yeah, again like. It's just you just go along, I guess, on the ride for like 3.5 minutes before the vocals even kick in. But then once they kick in, yeah, you're kind of, I guess, I don't know, you can kind of describe that as I don't know, however you want to describe it. But the way I'm gonna kind of semi give analogies is this song is kind of like split into 3 sections, like you're kind of traveling to different destinations because around like the 5.5-minute mark, a whole transition just kicks in. And the song just changes, and you're at a totally different tempo, total different, just beat and everything like that. And then, yeah, it's kind of short-lived. But then at 6 minutes, it switches up again, and then it just plays out. And yeah, so the track, obviously, I'm picking Station to Station because you kind of get that kind of journey of different places through the song. But yeah, there you go. That's number 9. Okay, number 10, Lost in Translation. I'm trying to think back in my mind. Like this one was supposed to be kind of like a record that takes you to a different world or different land, and from a faraway land, I think. And I'm gonna take it more on the I don't know, not contextual. What's the word? There's a connotation I take when I read Lost in Translation. It's kind of like you're missing the mark. And where I'm going to show this out, I'm curious. I'm curious how many Bowie fans are in here can try to predict my one sentence setup or not. But anyways, yeah, the one that missed the mark for me is Never Let Me Down, and I don't think I'm alone in thinking this. It's not bad. I mean, I know people just trash this record, saying it's garbage. It's like shouldn't have come out and stuff like that. I don't think it's that bad. But it's definitely not one I return to that often. But the track I'm going to pick here is, I guess, Glass Spider, which I think opens up the B-side, so track 6. I really like that song, and it kind of has like the story at the beginning of this weird spider thing in space, I think, and the bait, like, it's a bizarre thing, but it really sets the scene, and then after that introduction, it just kicks off into this really kind of fast-paced, cool, groovy rock song. And yeah, so and to further kind of elaborate on the missing the mark thing is, yeah, I don't think many critics or other fans appreciated it. And then even on later, like this is a 2018 reissue, and I'll come back to the 2018 piece of this album, but yeah, the reissue, they took off a track, Too Dizzy, because Bowie didn't even like it. Like it was on the original release, and subsequent releases they just took it off. Even I think like as of like, because this came out in '87, I think like 1990. Just shortly after when they started reissuing it, yeah, that track was gone. Too Dizzy was just gone because yeah, he didn't like it, and in an effort like in 2018, not only was it reissued, it was kind of re-recorded. Even they came out with a whole different version of this album, and honestly, I don't know if I prefer it. I do enjoy it more, but yeah, I wish I think The only way to get that one on vinyl is to get the Loving the Alien box set. To my knowledge, I don't think it was ever sold individually. But yeah, there's a whole different release of this album from 2018. It was re-recorded with like new instruments, new production, and everything like that. Where some of the songs are like twice as long. Well, I don't know about twice as long, but like Glass Spider specifically has like an extra 90 seconds. And this one's kind of just fast-paced, upbeat rock. That one's like kind of like goth, industrial sounding. I mean, not like typical goth, but like it's a very, very jarring change between the two songs. And yeah, so anyways, we'll stop talking about this one. But yeah, Lost in Translation, I'll pick the Glass Spider off of Never Let Me Down. And then we'll move on to Live at the Budokan, which is a show record that was recorded live. And again, I showed the one and only album on my last video with Bowie. Did I show 2 Bowies? I think I showed 2 Bowies in my previous video. So it kind of defeated my whole point of limiting the one Bowie. That just dawned on me. Okay. Anyway, so I got another one. But this one isn't an album. This is just one particular song I'm going to use, and that's going to be Gene Genie. That kind of it's a medley of Gene Genie, Love Me Do, and then back into Gene Genie, but it features Jeff Beck on guitar. Where this is, I should have. Hold on, I'm gonna go grab one more little thing. It's a soundtrack. It's a film by Brett Morgan, and the film called Moon Age Daydream is like amazing. It's not like a biography or concert. And I've shown this off before because one of the things is like, yeah, it cannot be explained. It can only be experienced, and that is like I totally agree with that because it's not just anything. It's everything, and there's live recordings, the live performances, there's remixes, there's medleys, there's studio recordings, there's outtakes, and they all just blend together. It's not kind of just a little brief. Here's his early era stuff, mid and later. It's just like it all just blends together, and there's instrumentations that go kind of link them together. There's segues, and it's a 3 LP deal, and this could also be. It's kind of in contention of a later question, the Origami one, but I'm gonna pick a different one. Spoiler, but yeah. Anyways, but yeah, this is really really great, and that one song in particular with the Gene Genie, Love Me Do, back into Gene Genie. It's really really fun song. Let's see, moving on. Number 12, Vinyl Bar DJ. This one is kind of not semi-antithesis of what I should be picking. Because to me, a vinyl bar sounds like a relaxing spot where you can, just put on some music and, reflect and enjoy the music. But the song I'm going to pick is off Lodger, and that song being DJ, where doesn't give me a calming sense of anything. It's a very kind of manic sounding song where the DJ is being controlled by like the music. Like he can't just be himself. He has to be the music, and if he's playing, like he has to play the music that the people want to hear. And if it's I don't know, it's very kind of stressful sounding because even the opening lyric, he's like, "I'm at home. I lost my job, incurably ill." And I believe he lost his job because he played the wrong song, or he just did like I don't know. He's the music is controlling him. Is how I've always felt that song was trying to convey the message of being pressured into doing what others want, not what you want, and kind of losing your kind of like self identity. But yeah, I'm gonna pick it obviously because DJ is the name of the song, and the question was Vinyl Bar DJ. But yeah, I don't think it's a quite exactly what you're looking for, Brian, but it's a good song. Yeah. Vinyl Bar DJ, number 12. Number 13, Island Nation. This is sharing a record that has like an island vibe, and I don't remember the exact words I used, but in my original video. But again, island, I just kind of think of sounds, and one of the sounds is like reggae, where Bob Marley and Jamaica and everything like that. But one of the tracks that I was going to use on this one is from Tonight, and the song is called Tonight, and it's a duet with Tina Turner, and it has like a reggae vibe, which I think it is like just it is a reggae song, and this is it's cool. I like it. I didn't know. Oh well, I don't really know much anything about Tina Turner, but when I was pulling the song, looking it up and stuff like that, like I just came across all these Tina Turner facts and tidbits, and what I found interesting, because this is 1984, and Tina Turner has a song called 1980. Well, Bowie has a song called 1984, but Tina Turner does a cover of Bowie's song 1984. Not yeah, you don't need to know any of that, but I just wanted to share that little fact, because another fact that I found was it's on a YouTube channel called Traxploitation. I've seen a few of their videos, but they had this one video where they kind of asked the question, like, could Bowie be responsible for inspiring like the digital reggae of the 80s? And I forgot the slang ting dem slang rhythm. I think slang ting rhythm is the beat that is super common in that genre, and they make this really compelling case that Bowie kind of has some not direct influence, but there was an influence of an influence of an influence that can be traced back to Bowie, and I just find that to be just really cool, really fun. So I'll put the link of that video in the description, and you can watch it if you feel compelled to do so. But yeah, that's gonna be my Island Nation pick. Number 14, Monsoon Season, an album that kind of that you'd play when it's raining. And this one, we'll just see what you have to say or what you think about this one. But yeah, I'm gonna pick "Please, Mr. Gravedigger," which is the last track off of the 1967 self-titled record, that debut. And the reason I picked this is there's an actual like storm going on in this song. Like it just opens with all the thunderclaps, and I think there's like you can hear some lightning strikes in the background. But then you just hear this wind, and he catches a cold like in the middle of it, and he starts sneezing, and I think the way that his voice is at the beginning of the song, it's just like kind of standard whatever, but then as that progresses, apparently when he was recording this, he shoved like cotton balls up his nose to get like a stuffy kind of sound. And I don't know, it's not, I mean, it's like a storm, and it's about it's kind of a dark song. I think he killed some like 10-year-old girl and was burying her in the graveyard, and it's messed up, but it does, the rain is part of the thing that stands out when listening to this. So yeah, we'll go with "Please, Mr. Gravedigger" for Monsoon Season. Let's see, carrying on, Wabi-Sabi, number 15. This is kind of similar in vein to my original pick, where I talking about Skinny Puppy. This one I'm gonna pick the Savior Machine off of the not the man who erased his name. That's the game. The Man Who Sold the World, 1970, track 6. Savior Machine. It's kind of like a hypothetical scenario where mankind finds this like cure to everybody's problems, and it's essentially like a robot. I think is like a machine, kind of like AI would be viewed as today, where like ChatGPT, everybody just thinks that's going to solve everything, and yeah, I mean, you can have your opinion on that, but this song is about this machine that can identify and cure all of humanity's problems. But as the song progresses, the machine finds out that as it's fixing the problems, it's just breaking what it means to be a human, and to overcome challenges and to view things from different angles, and it's just basically defeating itself, and it basically encounters like logic debate on how it should continue, because it like the machine is built to clean up the problems, but it's finding that the world needs problems to fix, and it kind of starts contradicting itself. And so Wabi-Sabi, I'm going to link it to that, because yeah, the world isn't perfect, but the world shouldn't be perfect. It is the way I view it, and that's kind of the vibe that I get out of that song, Savior Machine. So yeah, number 15. 16, Origami Me. This one, again, I kind of showed off my previous, the Moon Age Daydream soundtrack, where it kind of had the intricate packaging and all the, I didn't open the third one because I had the records. They would have fallen out if I didn't open it all the way, but I'm going to bend this question, kind of, I guess, I don't know, kind of similar to Origami, where you can kind of bend the question, I guess, if you so choose, but this song off of Earthling, from 1997, it's kind of bending the truth. And, you know, when you bend the truth, you're telling lies, which that's the name of the song, is Telling Lies. And this, what 97 was this record. So 2 years before Hours, where Hours had the whole album released digitally. This one, the track Telling Lies, was also released digitally as an exclusive. But the track that this blows my mind that this is all I don't know. I'm so fascinated with it, and I just, I don't know. I can't express that to a great degree. I just can't find the words. But when they released Telling Lies, they didn't just release one track on the internet. They released 4 different tracks, all called Telling Lies, where they didn't tell you what the true version was. It was just like, it's all out there. It all got released. No kind of marketing around it, and it was up to the people to pick, you know, what the real version of that song was. And there was also like some chat room where Bowie on Bowie Net, he joined the chat room like himself, but then there was like 2 other people in the chat rooms that were pretending to be Bowie, but were intentionally telling lies. So as people were trying to guess the song or guess who the real Bowie was, you know, they'd have to ask a question that one would tell the truth and the other 2 would lie. And I don't know. This was just an excuse to talk about that song. So I'm going to bend the rules by talking about bending the truth and use Telling Lies for Origami Me. Really, really fascinating it to me. Just story surrounding that song. But yeah, this one, Telling Lies, this album is his loud era, I think, is one of the videos I watched. That's what he referred to it. The Outside and Earthling was his loud era because it's very heavy industrial type sound. There we go. Origami Me, and then number 17, Fusion Frenzy. You could almost just pick any. I don't know, blending genres together. Like, I think Bowie just does that. Like, that is Bowie, where I couldn't pick a, one song to exemplify it necessarily, but I kind of stretch it a bit, and instead of blending genres, it's kind of blending, I guess, mediums, because obviously this is going to be a song, but there's a song on Diamond Dogs called 1984, which is about George Orwell's novel. So not only is it a song, it's a book talking about, surveillance, oppression, and, other forms of control, where, what is it, track 9? Yeah. It's not really labeled, but yeah, 9. I'm going to go with 9. It's a good song. And again, I was talking about it earlier on my random tangent talking about Tina Turner. But yeah, this is the song where Tina Turner does a cover of it in her later album. But yeah, this is 1972. I think I had to note real fast. 74. 72 was Ziggy Stardust. 74 is Diamond Dogs. So, and this is actually turning 50 years this year. This was one of the albums I featured in my original first video. So yeah, there we go. Fusion Frenzy. Number 18, Tokyo Nights. We will talk about the next day and the song "The Stars Are Out Tonight," where you can kind of just say it's a basic. "Oh, stars are out tonight." That's at nighttime you see the stars, but I don't think that's what the song's about. I think the song is more about like the Hollywood stars, like celebrities, and more or less how we, you might associate celebrities with the nightlife because they're all fancy and everything like that. But again, I think this is telling us that the perceptions that we have about celebrities in Hollywood might not be accurate, and there's actually just it's not as glamorous as you would envision, and that they're just kind of people that do their own thing, but they have this huge lens on them, and it's not always that exciting to deal with, and the sort of translation, not it's not really a translation, but a interpretation, the message that I get out of this is that they're out tonight, not like they're out and about, but they're literally out, like they're off, like the stars are off tonight, like they're just gonna be taking the night off, like they're not doing anything, they're at home. Like that's kind of the message I get out of this is the stars are out tonight, they're just taking the night off. And yeah, so yeah, stars are out tonight, Tokyo Nights, that will be number 18. Okay, two more. 19, End of the Day. We will pick from David Bowie's second self-titled album. The 1969 release is, it's also common, it's referred to as Space Oddity commonly, but it doesn't say that on this specific version, so I just call it the second self-titled album. But yeah, there's a song, it's the last song on here called Memory of a Free Festival, and this came out in 1969. I did bring that up because not only is it the last track of the song, 1969 is actually, obviously the last year of that decade. So it's like, it's ending the album, it's ending the decade. But then like halfway through the song, it talks like, it's a lengthy song. I want to say it's like 6 or 7 minutes. I don't know if it'll give me, it doesn't give me the track times, but it's a lengthy song. I'll just say 7 minutes. And halfway through it, the lyrics change to this kind of recurring, like kind of not a chant, but it says like the sun machine is going down and we're going to have a party. So, sun machine just talking about, but then there's a really cool illustration where I was going to bring this up, but I don't think this is the art I was actually thinking of, but I'll show it anyways. I was going to talk about this character over here, where if you've ever seen the music video Ashes to Ashes, like I just find that fascinating that, from 1969, there's this character that didn't come up again until the 80s. And it's based off another character, an actual, like, not pop culture, but, like, I don't know, I'll put his name on the screen, because I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, nothing to do with the Sun Machine on this cover. But yeah, that's just where, Sun Machine's going down. It's kind of the end of the day where, the sun machine goes down. That's how you end your day. But we're gonna have a party. Just kind of gives us positive message that even though the day's over, things are coming to an end. You can still choose to just have a good time. So that's gonna be my pick for end of the day is Memory of a Free Festival, and then that brings us to the last track, The Last Samurai. Where this is a song that I commonly think of. Like in my previous video, I didn't really touch on one because I couldn't think of an album to play. But yeah, this song in particular, I do think of. Play a song to play at your memorial. The question was a record to play at your memorial or funeral to be remembered by. But this song, Lazarus, off of Black Star, is just like Bowie's goodbye. It's a farewell. It's hard to talk about because I remember when this came out. Bowie was, I think, born January 8th, 1947. This album came out January 8th, 2016, and then he passed away on January 10th, 2016. So, this album came out, and he just died so shortly after. But yeah, the opening lines to this Lazarus track is like, "Look up here, I'm in heaven." And man, just knowing that sequence of events, it's heavy. So definitely one of the songs that I think would be, serves as like a memorial type thing for Bowie. Song, there's another lyric, Everybody Knows Me Now, where I know there's always that like bandwagon type thing where it's like, oh, nobody knows who Bowie is. But when he passes away, he makes all the news headlines. Everybody's number one fan, and they're sharing their gratitude, and even though if it's not authentic, they're on the bandwagon saying, "Oh, I know him. He's my favorite." And but I don't think that's what he was really getting at. I just wanted to bring that up because the lyrics, they just make you think, and I think that Everybody Knows Me Now is it literally like once you die, you can't hide you can't hide your scars. You can't, keep any secrets. Like, it's just all gonna be. I mean, there's, whatever secrets, but if you have just, skeletons in your closet, they're gonna find them. And I think that's what everybody knows me now is really getting at, is his life is just out there now. And yeah, so that's what I'm gonna pick as the Last Samurai, the song to be remembered by. But then. And then some kind of talking stylistically about the song, it gives me like it gives me like a Joy Division vibe, with the drums and guitar, and just how they're kind of I don't know, low key. But then when the saxophone kicks in, it just feels defeated. Like, yeah, and again, I'll try to curate a playlist of all these songs. So if you ever want to check them out, yeah, this one it's hard to listen to knowing the context around it, but really, really fantastic song, fantastic album. So yeah, there it is. There's 20 more tracks for the Japan vinyl tag. Again, I tried to kind of adhere to the kind of curriculum of what Brian had put out there, but I did take a few creative liberties in bending some of the questions. So hopefully hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it wasn't too drawn out. And yeah, until next time. Anybody else interested in doing this, please just give it your best. I mean, you don't have to have any massive collection, any Japan focused thing, because again, I just did it all with one artist. Like, those questions are just fantastic, and thanks for Brian for putting that together. Thanks for everybody that's joined in. Thanks for everybody that's kind of followed along in my channel and joined and subscribed. It really means a lot. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later. All right, bye.